Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tuesday's market SITREP or Situation Report. Matthew Buckley, my call sign is Wiz. The temperature has certainly increased in the past couple days. Well, I'd say past couple weeks, as the president has been dragged kicking and screaming hey man, China made our military sick, made our country sick, destroyed our economy, putting 30 million-ish as of today, Americans out of work, and I'd say half those jobs never even come back. This is bad. So finally, the president, the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, have started directing firepower towards where it belongs, China. So China warns of possible armed conflict with the U.S. over coronavirus backlash. So a little bit of saber rattling here, folks. And if you don't think that wars start this way, this is exactly how wars start. First of all, they start with words. And they start with actions. I mean, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, because of what? Fill in the blank. Oil, right? An embargo of an island nation by FDR resulted in, okay, well, now we're going to attack you. So it's hard to put that or conflict in the past in context of the past, because you ain't there. You're sitting here, you're present, namaste, and you can't appreciate the mindset of what was going on. But look at this, man. I mean, China has to deflect. They can't, with the millions, in my opinion, of Chinese dead. They're living in it, man. They know how bad this was. Not that all the videos that we got to see before they were shut down of people getting thrown in the back of trucks, never to be seen again. The seven crematoriums in Wuhan working 24/7, burning bodies. Why? Because they knew you can't do an autopsy of these people. You got to burn them because you can get sick from the damn bodies. So China's got to find a boogeyman. And of course, it's going to be us. We needed to find a boogeyman at the beginning, and it wasn't China. Why? Because the president wanted his big, beautiful, bold, tremendous phase one trade deal. Those days are over with. Not only is that trade deal over with, we're going to get screwed. Why? What country is going to bend over backwards to give China, soybeans and everything for a penny? Brazil. So as you all know, before the big, beautiful phase one trade deal was signed back here, China actually asked us. They used capitalism on us, didn't they? They looked at us and said, "Why are we agreeing to a trade deal to buy fill in the blank from you at this amount when I can get it over here for a hell of a lot less? Aren't you guys like capitalists? Can I go? No, you have to buy it from us, and it's more expensive." Brazil's getting hammered, folks. It's heartbreaking. They don't have shit for testing. Sao Paulo, Rio, Manaus is turning into a COVID hotspot, and they don't. I mean, my God, man, this is brutal what's going on down there. And, of course, the president could care less. He's like, what do you want me to do about it? Deal with it. Get back to work. I don't care. It's a little cold. Okay. So the president down there, Bolsonaro, is going to snuggle up to China as much as he can and say, dude, don't screw the United States. I know I'm the Trump of the tropics, but, I'm not I'm not that stupid. What's this one? I didn't see this one. May 3rd. Brazil doubles down on reform. Oh, yeah, I read this. Okay. This is bad. So the president, to his credit, we haven't seen him do a walkout to Marine One in a long time. So I think he's flying out to Arizona. Flying out to Arizona today, kind of getting airborne and trying to reopen, right? But the models, and remember, folks, the initial model said, hey, 2 million Americans dead. What? If we don't shut it down, we don't social distance, and then we're only going to see 50, 60. Models are stupid. And now the new models are up to about 135 in the United States. Okay, so where's all my, it's only going to be 60, Wiz. I'm like, it ain't going to be 60. I'm still a 200 guy. Ish. It's six figures, folks. It's easily going to be six figures of people dead. And if we get a second quote unquote wave in the fall, obviously, you don't want to be the last person to die of COVID, right? It's like being the last dude killed in the last war. It sucks, but people are going to die. But we got to get back to work, folks. Okay, now, if you would read all the macroeconomic data about how bad everything is out there, you would be selling all your stocks, moving to a cabin in Montana with your guns and bullets and gold. I mean, it's insane how bad the macroeconomic data are. look at the market for the 9 millionth time. I know you can put this on my tombstone. The market is not the economy, ladies and gentlemen. So we're easing some lockdowns. We're trying to open up. Of course, I'm stuck in Palm Beach County. So Palm Beach, Broward, Miami-Dade, the three hardest hit counties here in Florida, still shut down. But we got to reopen, man. Remember, I went from you got to shut it down, we can still kill this thing, to okay, too late. Now it's not contained and it's going to rip through the country, to now we got to open. We have absolutely got to open. But anyway, Jeffrey Gundlach runs Double Line Capital, 100 billion even assets under management. The guy's wrong. Last week or a week and a half ago, he said, I'm getting bearish. That's it. I'm out of cash. This market's going to implode. We're going to go through the March lows. I said, nope. Why? Because that little image right there, right? The U.S. Treasury today admitted to $3 trillion borrowing need in the next quarter. I'll take the over as well. They're going to do more than that. But listen, this sentence, he gets the gold medal for this. If endless borrowing is a viable solution, why do we have any taxation in the first place? Does that make sense? If the government can do that, why are they taking money from us? Let that sink in. If the government can just spit money out like an ATM, why am I paying taxes? Let that sink in. But anyway, on this topic, what am I getting at? Well, guess what happened? Because Gundlach last week said, I'm told the Fed has not actually bought any corporate bonds that, in this sham company that was set up to go around the law. Must be the most effective jawboning success in Fed history, if that's true. Meaning, so they lied to us. The Fed's not buying any of this crap they said that they're buying. Within like minutes of Gundlach's tweet, the New York Fed announced on its website that it expects to begin purchases of eligible ETFs, most notably the liquid and the junk, LQD and JNK. So, Jeffrey, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot fight this. We did a weekly options brief, a joint weekly options and primary brief this morning. We talked about closing the SPX bull put spread. I think it was like a 80% profit in a day. Beautiful 1 day trade. That was a bull put spread out to Wednesday. Why? Because we're going higher. What did we do? Or I think it's under the, okay, here we go. Update 5.5, exited SPX for 25 cents for a 34.50, 82% profit in 1 day. Almost $3,500 in one trading day, folks. How we feeling about that? We're feeling pretty damn good. And then we're going to do solo Amazon here. Oh, I got to get going. It's at 2 o'clock. I more or less covered Amazon during the morning brief, but this bull put spread, we talked about closing as well. What am I getting at? Folks, you can't be bearish here. Jeffrey Gundlach is wrong. He joined me 2 months after I predicted Trump would win and the market would rally 2 months later. I predicted Facebook would implode. 2 months later, Jeffrey Gundlach said the same thing, and it did. So the guy's kind of flown formation behind me and some of my market calls, and now I'm telling him he's wrong. It's absolutely not going to happen with this. You have a president, you have a Treasury Secretary, you have a Federal Reserve Chairman. First of all, the president knows if the stock market ain't up and this economy isn't at least turning over, cranking the engine, he's done. Same thing with this guy. How do you fight this, folks? You don't. I'm telling you, don't be me in 2013 or 12, QE1, QE2, TARP, Operation Twist, QE4 Infinity. Folks, if you're bearish right now, you're swimming up against more money, more liquidity than you've ever seen in your entire life. You're not that strong. No offense, ladies and gentlemen, but it's going to get ugly. Dollars versus deaths. U.S. equity investors, us, have made over $100 million for every COVID victim. Okay, so you have got to smoke the hopium, and we have to be honest with you, stop talking about how good we're doing. Why? Because the stock market is not the economy. This stock market, folks, could be up here to where we imploded by the fall. How do you think that's going to go over with middle America? How do you sit there and say, hey man, I am printing money in this market and 40 million Americans are out of work? First of all, as me wearing my flight suit in America. I tell you how I feel as American. It breaks my heart. Tell you how I feel as Gordon Gekko in the movie Wall Street. I don't care. I care about me. I care about my family, and I care that I'm printing money on the government destroying capitalism. Right? In uncharted territory, are you really buying at these valuations? Look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, first of all, he dumped all of his airline stocks at a low. So there you go. The world's best legendary investor got schwacked. Everybody is losing trades, folks. And I think Warren Buffett got into Delta at what, $37, $34? The fire sale, man, dumped it. Heath. But folks, Warren ain't buying nothing right now. Why? The Buffett indicator? Because based on the way that guy invests, this doesn't make sense to him. He can't buy at these valuations because when he dumps the airlines, he's like, I don't even know if airliners are going to be flying in a year. Wow. But again, folks, I read all this stuff. I brief all this stuff. Why? So I know all the threats out there. But at the end of the day, Mr. Buffett, nobody cares. Stocks keep rallying despite lack of visibility on the economy. Duh. So, and let me tell you something, folks. In the blink of an eye, which we did here and here and here, in the blink of a jobs report and the Fed jumping in, I went from I can't be more bearish to I'm done. Couple losing trades right there. That's all that took for me to say. So here's what I'm getting at. Markets don't like living between moving averages. Well, guess what? The bias is to the upside because, folks, with all this liquidity pumped into the market by the Fed, if we don't go up and we do have some massive implosion, that's it. That's the end of the Treasury. That's the end of the Federal Reserve. That's the end of everything. So you actually have to root against Jeffrey Gundlach, who's saying market's going to implode and retest those lows. Because if that in fact happens, it means that the safety net that the Fed has thrown underneath this market failed. And if the market catches wind that there ain't no Fed safety net, or it can't hold all of us, to stick with the safety net analogy, it will be lookout below. And you know what I will do? In the blink of an eye, if that happens, I will do what we did here and print money on the way down. Remember, as an options trader, to be honest with you, I don't care which way the market goes, up, down, or sideways, as long as it goes. Now, as an American, I want to go up. I don't want people out of work. I don't want people's 401k suffering. So my bias would be everybody happy. But if this thing implodes, we can get bearish in the blink of an eye and pound things into the dirt. Okay, I need to get going because 2 o'clock solo Amazon, and then tomorrow morning at tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock we do our accelerated retirement brief, where we'll go over our Apple covered call strategy and what we're doing this week, especially with Apple going ex-div and getting ready to award its dividend. Apple's great, man. Apple, $300 right now? Apple increasing its share buybacks and increasing its dividend. That's a stock you want to be in. Look at that. It's a $300 stock. Down at the bottom of this thing, it was like $225. And look at it now. Unbelievable. Okay, I got to get going. I'll see many of you in solo Amazon, or I'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock for our accelerated retirement. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.